And the Russian Foreign Ministry says it's against placing heavy weaponry in nations neighbouring Syria. The issue came up during the Russia-EU summit in the Urals, and artist Aleksey Yaroshevsky is here with us following the meeting and is joining us now live. Aleksey, hello there, nice to see you. There have been many accusations aimed at Russia recently over its weapons dealings with Syria. So what does the Russian president have to say on that?
Well, Vladimir Putin particularly stressed that Russia has never violated any international regulations on supplying arms. In case of Syria, he stressed and he focused on the S-300 missile complexes, the issue which has been debated over the past several weeks very actively, that the contract on supplying Syria with the S-300 missile complexes was signed years ago, and this contract hasn't yet been fulfilled. Whether this means that the S-300 complexes have indeed not been delivered to Syria is, of course, it remains to be seen. But Vladimir Putin said that supplying Syria any side of the conflict now with additional weaponry would destabilize the situation in the region. This is something Moscow has been strongly against. At the same time, the head of the chairman of the European Union, Herman Van Rompuy, said that despite that Europe has lifted its embargo on weapon exports, most of the countries of the European Union have decided against supplying the Syrian rebels with additional weapons, as all of the countries are seeing this conference, the peace conference, which is due to be held anytime soon, with both members of the Syrian government and the Syrian opposition at the same negotiation table, as the last resort to find a peaceful solution to the Syrian conflict.
Yes, and we know that Moscow and Washington are labouring hard to push both sides towards dialogue. What's hindering these peace efforts?
Well, we've basically heard the things here at the conference in the Urals, things which have heard before. Basically, that the EU and Russia have the same ground on this conference. The European Union pretty much welcomed the idea of holding this conference, something agreed upon by John Kerry and Minister Sergei Lavrov in Moscow several weeks ago. But we've heard from Vladimir Putin that while there are certain indications, and it has been confirmed by the Syrian government that it will be willing to take part in at these negotiations, there has been nothing like that coming from the Syrian opposition. And the lack of unity within the Syrian opposition is the main reason, according to the Russian president, why there has been no no positive answer to whether the Syrian opposition would actually take part in these negotiations. The particular strong statement coming from the Russian president was that he saw in some of the media how some members of the Syrian opposition have been eating intestines of their dead enemies, and Vladimir Putin said that he would not want to see such people at the negotiation table in Geneva, probably because this would jeopardize the security of the whole conference. It's really debatable whether we have moved anywhere closer to this conference. No date has been set just yet, but we do know that Europe and Russia have the same stance on that this conference should be held, and Europe says it sees no alternative to this conference in terms of finding a peaceful solution to the Syrian bloodshed.
Artist Aleksey Yaroshevsky live from the Urals. Aleksey, thank you very much.